Welcome to Ghoulish Gab. Always spooky, always under 7 minutes. Had to adjust that. We went a little over last time. The first two times. That's all right. We're still working out all the kinks here. And also we gotta we'll get a stopwatch going. What are we talking about today?
So Sean and I just got our tickets for uh Sunday Scares at the Cinema for the Re-Animator showing. And I realized we've got some new Horror Society members, so you should tell them about what Sunday Scares at the Cinema is.
Yes, so we rent the cinema for private movie showings. And essentially, what happens is that the money you pay for your seat goes to pay for the rental. And any money left over goes towards future events. Mostly our two big ones, the Ghoulish Gala, of course, and the halfway to Halloween is the one I was like, what is that other one called? We'll be talking more about those in future episodes when they get closer. But yes, Sunday Scares. So January 28th, which is a Sunday, of course, 6 p.m. We're showing Re-Animator, classic 80s. Well, I don't even know what kind of movie you would call that. Just it's
Uh,
off the wall.
Completely unhinged. Yes.
Yeah, that's the best way. H.P. Lovecraft inspired, starring Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, directed by Brian Yuzna. I'm going to say it wrong no matter what. But yes, if you want a seat, get a hold of me. You can email twinportshorrorsociety@gmail.com or just send me a direct message on the Facebook and we can get you a seat reserved. It's just $10. You show up, we show Re-Animator, we all have fun, and it's been great. We used to do a lot of double features, but we kind of moved to doing just one movie on a Sunday. We got a couple lined up for February and March, and we'll see how it goes after that. Have you seen Re-Animator before?
I have. And I mean, I don't want to give spoilers
No.
in case some of the people seeing it haven't seen it in the 40 years since it's been out, but it's completely unhinged. Like the scene with the head and then
Classic.
oh,
And we get to see that on the big screen. And I know for a fact there are going to be some Re-Animator versions there because some of the people who bought tickets had told me that they hadn't seen it yet and they were really excited to see it for the first time in the theater, which is kind of, part of the excitement about this is you get to see an older film that either you love and you're seeing with a mixture of other people who already love it and are seeing it for the first time, or you're seeing it for the first time with a bunch of people who have seen it forever or a bunch of times, and it's really fun to have that mixed crowd and with everybody just kind of cheering and having a good old time in the theater.
when you had mentioned that this is based off of an HP Lovecraft thing, and I was looking into that and realized that I really haven't seen much of anything directly based off of HP Lovecraft. And that could be kind of my fault. Like everybody loves Cthulhu, but generally, from what I understand, HP Lovecraft was kind of a dick, but he wrote some good stories. And so I tried to look up some movies that were based on that maybe I could check out. And if you have some recommendations, I'd love to hear them because so far all I'm coming up with is that on Tubi, they are streaming something called Call Girl of Cthulhu, and the
It's
subline
awesome.
says she's turning wet dreams into nightmares.
Yeah, you it's a must watch. I mean that's loosely based on some of Lovecraft stuff. I would say probably more Lovecraft influenced, but since a lot of his stuff is kind of public domain, I believe at this point,
Hmm.
they can use characters like Cthulhu. But that's a fun movie. I've seen that one a couple times. The Reanimator is based on a shorter story of his called Herbert West Reanimator, and it's very loosely based. But we are going to give away a copy of a book at the showing, uh, The Zombie Stories of H.P. Lovecraft, and it features that Herbert West Reanimator. It doesn't have a lot of pages, but it's small print, so there's a
Oh,
lot
okay.
in the book though. So we're going to give that away and some other prizes as well. Um, I would suggest Necronomicon as far as a Lovecraft influenced, somewhat based upon. I feel like a lot of the movies, people take a lot of liberties, or maybe there's a lot of things that he wrote about that you maybe can't really pull off with a smaller budget as
Mm-hmm.
well too. But there is one called Necronomicon, which has some. That's got Jeffrey Combs in it too, who actually plays H.P. Lovecraft in the movie. So obviously, it was only kind of based on his writings, but they put him in there as a character throughout, and that's another one that is pretty wild. And I think that it was the same director as Re-Animator as well too.
I think too, I mean, H.P. Lovecraft is so influential that if you like, I know he was a huge influence for Stephen King. Like, if you've enjoyed horror, chances are you've enjoyed something that was inspired by H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah, well he created the Necronomicon too, which of course was the catalyst for the Evil Dead movies. So I mean
Mm-hmm.
that was something that Sam Raimi took, essentially just took from H.P. Lovecraft and was like, I'm gonna use this book, and his version is, yeah, I guess I don't know how close his version is to what Lovecraft wrote about it offhand, but I think it's very similar.
Well, and if just throwing it out there, if you want uh a fun HP Lovecraft based game on your phone, there is a app called Cthulhu Virtual Pet, and it's like a
Oh,
little Tamagotchi Cthulhu. Like, you feed it uh like worshippers and you play little games. It's pretty fun.
I am definitely going to download that. So we're just about out of time. So once again, if you want to watch Re-Animator with us and other members of the group, we're going to be doing that January 28th at the Cinema. You do need to get your seats in advance because it is a private showing, private event. Email twinportshorrorsociety@gmail.com or send me a private message. Our time is up. Thank you.